down to 17.7 or even less. I don't know what the final reduction is, as it may have potential implications on existing loan agreements that the national government has with our foreign development partners. They carry binding obligations, as I have mentioned earlier, and any delay or under implementation of the project may expose the government to the payment of commitment fees and, as we have already mentioned, reputational damage. Among these are, of course, the infrastructure projects of the Mindanao Transport, Davao City Bypass, Samal Island Davao Connector, Cebu Mactan Bridge, Bataan Cavite, Interlink Bridge, the long-standing Laguna Lakeshore Road Network, Panay Guimaras Negros Bridge Project, Cavite Industrial Area Flood Risk Management, Pasig Marikina River, and Metro Manila Flood Management. In addition, I noticed that there's a further reduction from the GAB to the Senate version. And a cause for concern is that these areas are located in the severely impacted areas with natural disasters. For example, in Luzon, the budget for the maintenance of the Jose Abad Santos Avenue, traversing the provinces of Bataan, Nueva Ecija, Pampanga, and Zambales, was reduced from 496 million from 993, or that's almost half. Almost a 50% reduction. In Cebu, which has endured both earthquakes as well as strong typhoons like Tino and Uwan, the allocation has been reduced by 43%, as if they had not been punished enough. In Davao, the maintenance budget for the Makilala Ala Valley Road, a 72-kilometer national highway, reduced again by 47%. Given the scale of these reductions, particularly in disaster-affected areas, I would like to seek clarification if these were primarily as a result of the application of the CMPD, and if so, how the adjustments adequately account for post-disaster rehabilitation requirements and prevailing market conditions. We've made a big deal of providing for the for the NDREAM and the other post-disaster infrastructure, and yet we are cutting the most important, largest projects in flood-stricken areas by virtually one half. Is there an explanation, po?
Before we go to that question, we get a motion on the modification. Yeah. Any motion?
Madam Chair, before the motion,
Move to approve, Madam Chair.
second.
Duly seconded the motion to modify the projects that will be submitted to the committee and also uploaded to the website is duly approved.
This is amounting to 7.9 billion
That is correct.
pesos worth of
That is correct. Thank you.
in regions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, CAR and NIR.
And NCR as well.
Oh, and
Yes.
yes, NCR.
Yes, po.
Maraming salamat. Well, first, Senator Amy, thank you for that question. And indeed, the DPWH is encountering a lot of utilization issues, not only after the flood control, but even prior to the flood control. It seems to me that there's a management and implementation issue within the DPWH bureaucracy. I'm very optimistic that Secretary Vince will solve that. I hope that he can solve that as quick as possible because his tenure is getting shorter. But he sent us a letter. Actually, this is a letter addressed to the chairman of the Finance Committee, signed by Secretary Dizon. And I'll just read parts of the letter. First, as of fiscal year 2025 draws to a close, we wish to bring to your attention the substantial remaining balance of 51 billion in unobligated funds under the foreign assisted programs. In view of these available resources and in alignment with government's broader priorities to advance economic growth and promote social equity, we propose a realignment of 19 billion pesos from the 2026 FAPS allocation to unprogrammed allocation. This will ensure that the remaining funds are deployed efficiently and effectively, providing a timely opportunity to direct resources where they are most needed. And we also coordinated with the DPWH even after the Senate version was enacted, and we saw a lot of very low utilization rates in different projects. Like for example, pre-feasibility study. This is as of September 2025. Pre-feasibility study, feasibility study, preliminary and detailed engineering, only 49%. This is utilization rate. Payments of right of way, 61%. Asset preservation, 45%. Network development program, 33%. Bridge program, 31%. Flood management program, 51%. Convergence and special support program, 39%. Locally funded projects, 31%. And foreign assisted projects, 30%. So parang nahihirapan ang DPWH sa pag-i-implement ng programa at dahil naiipon lang ho yung kanilang pondo doon, minabuti nila na magbigay alam sa atin na pwedeng gamitin a portion of their funding for other priority projects such as education and health. And in fact, if we go through the different projects, including foreign assisted projects, halos for 2025, halos zero utilization yung ibang mga foreign assisted projects nila. Pero let me qualify this. Hindi po titigil ang DPWH dahil meron pa ho silang continuing appropriations. Malaki pa ho yung kanilang continuing appropriations. So for example, in the foreign assisted projects alone, 51 billion pa ang hindi nila nagagamit para po sa kanilang foreign assisted projects. So ang sinasabi lang ho nila for 2026, bawasan nyo na muna ng konti dahil meron pa kaming natitira at gagamitin ho namin itong natitira for 2026 para hindi rin ho sila magkaroon ng utilization issue pagdating ng 2026. So yun po yung kanilang communication, and we constantly communicate with Secretary Vince on this para po coordinated po yung ating mga budgetary movements with the department.
May I follow up?
Yes, Senator Amy.
Yes, Chair. Nabanggit na rin ninyo yung low utilization ng FAPS. Pero ito naman ang nangyari sa ating external convergence and special support programs. Nakita natin na bagsak ang utilization dito sa external convergence. Halimbawa, sa DOH Health Facilities Enhancement Program, zero ang obligation rate. At ganun din sa SRA, ang farm to mill roads ng Sugar at saka yung SUC infrastructure program, bagsak na bagsak at wala talagang nare-release. Ngayon, tinatanong ko, ganun na nga yung sitwasyon. Bakit imbes na ibaba ang ating allocation dyan, tinaas pa natin? Yung 121.83 billion, tinaas pa sa 130.22 billion. Kung ang sinasabi natin, ang pagbaba ng FAPS natin, dahil sa low utilization, di hamak na mas low utilization, itong external convergence programs na tinataasan naman natin. Parang kabaliktaran naman yata itong polisiyang to.
Kaya nga ho, isa sa mga proposals po natin dito sa BICAM through Senator Kiko, ay yung farm to market roads, ibabalik na ho natin sa Department of Agriculture at sila na lang ho ang gagawa together with LGUs or PPPs or other entities dahil talagang hindi ho magawa ng DPWH ngayon itong mga other external infrastructure program.
Pero nakita natin yung DOH Health Facilities, di ba? 14.4 billion yan. Tinaasan pa natin sa 20 billion at 0% performance. Ba't ganon? Yung SRA, SUC, hindi pa na-release. Yung Pamana, ganon din. bakit nagtataas ng budget kung zero o halos zero ang performance? Parang nakakalito naman, very contradictory ang policy direction.
For the classrooms, nagtaas rin ho tayo sa classrooms. For example, this year po ang classrooms, balita ko mga out of the 6,000 classrooms, 50 lang ho yung nagawa ho nila. Kaya for classrooms rin, kausap rin ho natin si Secretary Angara na liberalize natin yung pagpapagawa po ng classrooms. Pwede na rin ho sila mag-LGU, pwede na rin ho sila mag-PPP, pwede na rin ho sila mag-CSOs at NGOs na gusto kong tumulong sa kanila. So hindi lang, ngayon kasi ang DPWH is the sole public works entity or agency ng buong gobyerno. Ngayon, hiwalay-hiwalay na rin ho natin. Sa state universities, ito alam ni Ma'am Lauren, dati public works rin ang gumagawa ng lahat ng building ng state universities. Ngayon, binalik na ho namin sa state universities yung paggagawa ng mga buildings ho nila. So, in other words, yung mga kanya-kanyang ahensya, kanya-kanyang gawa na at meron silang kanya-kanyang modality. No, para po hindi lang DPWH ang gumagawa dahil nga yung kanilang utilization napakababa eh. At nakakaapekto ho sa marami pong mga infrastructure projects ho natin.
Wala akong pagnanais maging makulit, pero nananatili pa dyan, yung DOH, yung SRA, yung SUC, yung PAMANA. Nais ko rin tanungin itong DND at bakit linipat yung TICAS? Bakit linipat yung TICAS sa DND? May kinalaman ba ito dito sa low utilization rate or may ibang dahilan para dyan?
At maraming salamat sa tanong, Senator Amy. Yung TICAS, which is about almost 3 billion, nung nagkaroon ho kami ng hearing sa DND, marami ho silang mga infrastructure projects na hindi tapos o hindi nila alam anong status dahil hindi sila yung gumagawa. At marami rin ho silang mga infrastructure projects na hindi ho maganda yung gawa, no? Because nga hindi nila pangit yung coordination with the DPWH. So request rin nila through our hearing na i-transfer nilang ho sa kanila yung 3 billion peso at DND na rin po ang gagawa ng kanilang infrastructure project. So ganito na ho, no? Binabalik ho natin sa agency, sa ahensya, yung mga infrastructure ho nila at binigyan natin sila ng option na sila ang gumawa or mag-partner with LGUs or iba pang mga entities. No?
Okay, salamat po. Kahit medyo may alinlangan pa rin ako dyan kasi parang hindi nga consistent ito. At sa TICAS, naiintindihan natin may Army Corps of Engineers, may CBs, may mga inhenyero ang ating militar. Pero dun sa DOH, ayan, sa SRA, parang kaduda-duda naman yan. Ganun pa man, let's move on to preventive maintenance. Decrease from 50 to 27 billion. 40+%. Given the extreme natural disasters, the extreme weather that we have confronted in Luzon, in the Cebu area, as well as in Mindanao, for the first time, I think it's been typhoon-stricken, almost comparable to the Luzon areas and the Visayas regions that are accustomed to typhoons. We are noticing severe budget reductions. Kung ang direksyon ay maglaan ng pondo para sa mga disaster, bakit tinatanggal natin ang preventive maintenance na siya ang unang-unang kailangan sa bawat pangyayari ng kalamidad? Nagtataka ako dito dahil yung mga binabaha na talaga, Pampanga, ayan, tinangay yung Jose Abad Santos Avenue, yung Cebu, ang laki rin ang tinanggal. Kaya nagtataka po ako, is this adjustment due to the application of the CMPD or what other programs are affected by the application of CMPD? Bakit yung preventive maintenance pa sa lahat ng programa ang binawasan ng todo-todo?
Actually, talagang ang DPWH because of their naghalo-halo na yung problema, no? Nagkaroon po ng problema dito sa flood control issue. Ngayon nagkakaroon ho sila ng management reshuffling at management enhancing at dahil dito po sa mga ginagawa ho nila sa loob ng DPWH, nade-delay rin po yung kanilang project execution. I'll give you a very concrete example po. nung tinanggal po yung flood control, that's 255 billion po. Tinanggal po siya for 2026 pero hindi ibig sabihin wala nung flood control projects. Meron pong matitira na mga close to about may natitira pa hong mga around 300 billion na hindi nagagawang flood control project. So ito itutuloy under the new administration of Secretary Vince na mas maayos, mas matibay, mas mura at magagawa to ng mas maganda po ang monitoring. So ang ibig sabihin ho, meron pa ring magagawa for 2026 pero mas tama na ho yung gagawing flood control. The same ho with other components po ng DPWH like road maintenance, asset preservation, bridge program. Lahat ho to may pondo pa no na gagawin na pwedeng gamitin po for 2026. So sinasabi naman ng DPWH bawasan lang ng konti dahil meron pa kaming pondo, pagbibigyan ho sila ulit, maiipon lang, hindi rin ho nila magagamit.
Pero teka, Chair, mawalang galang pero nabigla yata yung marami sa atin nung sinabi mo itutuloy pa rin 300 billion yung flood control. Akala ko tinanggal na lahat ng flood control sa budget na ito.
Yung sinabi ko ho, ito baka yung number, I have to qualify my numbers kasi luma na rin ho yun. Baka ngayon nga mas lumiit na yun. But ang punto ho natin ay for 2020, even 2025, meron pa hong, for 2024, meron pa hong natitira. For 2025, may natitira. For 2026, zero po ang budget ng flood control. So yung mga makikita nating flood control na ginagawa for 2026, ito po ay galing po sa lumang pondo. Pero bagong administrasyon po ang gumagawa. No?
Kahit lumang pondo po, paano tayo nakakasiguro na hindi ito mauuwi sa kurakot, sa overprice, sa substandard na flood control?
Sa alam ko nga ho, hindi ho nila, kahit may pondo po itong flood control, sa pagkaalam ko, hindi pa ho nila ginagalaw ito dahil nga rini-review nila lahat ng work program, lahat ng feasibility study, may coordination po with the local government units. So, itong pondo na ito, nandyan siya, pero hindi pa ho nagagawa. Pero kung naayos na ho, syempre ho, kailangan din ho natin maayos yung mga bahain na areas ho natin. Kailangan din ho natin ng flood control projects, pero tama at maayos at matibay na flood control projects. Pag yan po ay nangyari, mag-uumpisa na rin po yung construction sa 2026 gamit po yung lumang pondo sa 2025 or even 2024.
Sang-ayon po ako na hindi dapat tanggalin lahat ng flood control, kundi magkaroon ng maayos at mabisang flood control na walang kurakot, walang pandaraya, walang overprice. Ngunit meron rin akong nakita isang 1 billion na lump sum for the rehab of disaster-related infra. Ang Senate version, linakihan po natin ng 7 billion or 6 billion yung ating increase. Mananatili pa ba yung increase na yan or binawasan na po?
Ito po yung QRF. QRF. Yes, oho. Ito po yung QRF na request rin po ng ahensya. No?
Tama,
So,
pero talagang may kaya ba tayo na magbigay ng times 7?
actually po, ang QRF pwede rin pong mag-replenish yan. So kahit na mabawasan ho yan, pwede ho silang humingi doon sa mother QRF or sa NDREAM Fund. No? So pwede ho sila kumuha ho doon. So
ang sinasabi natin, kapag na-compute na natin, tsaka natin malalaman yung eksaktong figure, yung 7 billion na nakasaad ngayon, hindi nakapako, kundi nakasulat pa lamang.
Tama ho kayo, Senator Amy, na itong mga QRF ay pwede hong ma-replenish ho yan ng NDREAM Fund or meron pa isang QRF rin sa NDREAM. No? Pwede ho.
Okay, maraming salamat. Inaantok na rin ako katulad
Thank you.
ninyo.